we are, the BNI Effect, episode number 4. And this is an opportunity where we get to listen from Brisbane-based business people who are doing phenomenal things for their business, but also then phenomenal things within the world of BNI. And today's guest is Lauren Jones. G'day, Lauren.
Morning, Tony. How you going?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Always good to chat with you.
It's wonderful to chat with you. Well, hey, let's start off by you sharing a little bit about who you are and what your business is.
Yeah, fantastic. So my name's Lauren Jones. I own a buyer's agency in Brisbane. We're called LJBA, or Lauren Jones Buyers Agency. We really work to help people buy homes or investment properties within about a 35-kilometre ring of Brisbane. And we focus on first home buyers over 55 and those buying and selling property at the same time.
Yeah, right. And are you finding that more and more people are using buyer's agents? Because it's a relatively new concept here in Australia, isn't it? When I say new, last sort of few years it's started to pick up. So you're finding more people using a buyer's agent?
More people have awareness of what a buyer's agent is. I think we still only buy for a very small portion of the market here. Sydney is massive. You go to any property open home and there's 50% buyer's agents there. So we're still in kind of the awareness stage in Brisbane, but it's definitely becoming more widespread.
Well, here's hoping this podcast can help you, hey, with that, build out more awareness. How and when were you introduced to BNI?
So I've been a BNI member for about 18 months. I was originally introduced to BNI through a different networking group. Originally, I wasn't a big fan of BNI. I found it to be quite stiff and structured, but then the other networking group I was part of, I realised that they were quite casual and transient and no business was actually really being done. Like, it was a bit more easy to attend and fun to go to. And then I think I found a really good balance when I attended BNI Gateway, which I'm now president of. And it was just much more warm and welcoming, and a good kind of mix of, the serious side of business getting done while also enjoying being there.
Which is terrific. So it would have been easy for you after that first experience just to say, well, you know what, BNI is not for me, and to just walk away and look in other directions. But it's great that you decided to gravitate back and find a chapter that fitted with you, your personality, and what you were looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
How's being part of a BNI chapter influence your approach to networking?
I'm a massive networker. My business is probably 95% come from referrals. And I really do milk the BNI system. I not only attend my chapter, but I think I've attended about 15 chapters in Brisbane since I've joined. And I've also done probably another 5 over Sydney and Melbourne because we're location specific. I can go and meet mortgage brokers and other referral partners in places like Sydney and Melbourne who will send business to me, or even other buyers agents in Sydney and Melbourne.
Right. So I mean, BNI, it's a great point, Lauren. BNI is the world's largest referral marketing organisation, and so you are absolutely leveraging the fact that there are connections, right across Australia, across the world, but in your instance, across Australia, and you're building out those strong connections accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun story actually. I went to Dubai recently and I was told it would be awesome to get a tour from a local. So I actually went onto the BNI portal and I got talking with a lady in BNI in Dubai who was actually Australian, only Australian in BNI Dubai apparently. So you can also use it for things like that, which is pretty incredible.
So there you go. So I mean, we can use BNI to find local tour guides. I love it.
Yeah.
That's excellent. How do you measure the success of your participation in BNI?
Look, for me, it's pretty simple. It's thank you for closed business. And the way, very early on, I didn't get really any referrals for my first 6 months or so in BNI. And I remember meeting up with someone in BNI who'd been there for 8 years, and he said to me, you're never going to get referrals until the money that you've given in BNI kind of exceeds or comes equal to your average fee. Now, I send a lot of referrals. That's never been an issue for me, but a lot of the time they're a few $100 referrals. My average commission is somewhere between maybe $15,000 and $20,000. So I pushed really hard to give so much business even get to that level of one of my average commissions. And it was crazy because it was like the moment I hit that, I got to 15 or 20 grand, I got my first referral in. And I'm pretty much level all the time with how much I give and how much I get.
It's amazing. So it's that whole philosophy of give as gain, and that was the message to you about 6 months in. It's like, just keep giving, and it's uncanny how the law of reciprocity kicks in.
100%. And I know, so even at the moment, I'm even with what I've given and received, and I know that in order for me to even get to my next referral, I'm going to have to send a lot of business to get it.
Yeah, fantastic, right? But you've figured out a few things. One is give as gain, but the other is that initially, just things take time. You can't come into BNI and expect that from day one, I'm going to be, having, streams of business. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes following the system, trusting the process. But you're a great example of what's possible when you stick with it and you keep doing the right things consistently.
Absolutely.
Well done. How has your business evolved since joining BNI?
So when I first joined BNI, I actually hadn't even started my own business. So I was an agent, like a commission-only agent with another agency. I joined, and then probably within about 6 months, I left that agency and started my own business. So it was really awesome to have the support of BNI when starting a business, because it's so good to have the team there. Like the graphic designer in my chapter, she does all my work and still does, she set up my logos and my color palette and everything like that, and still does it to this day. I use the solicitors in the room. I use the building and pest in the room. So to be able to have that network starting up a business was amazing.
Invaluable, right? Having those people at your fingertips. So it's a great example of the power of BNI. What advice would you give to new members to make the most out of their membership?
I think probably similar to a couple of things I've touched on. I think you really do need to give before you can really expect to get any business. I know some people come in and they'll make 50 grand just like that. That's a bit of an outlier. I think, you really need to work hard. And I'm very big cross-chapter as well. I think you're never going to have everyone in your circle in your chapter. So trying to meet people cross-chapter as well and utilising those networks to help your overall network expand. It can happen very quick just through BNI.
And you were saying you're now branching out into state as well, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It works.
What's next for your business? What exciting plans are on the horizon?
Well, I've just hired my third team member. She starts in 2 days' time, which is pretty
Congratulations.
exciting. So I'm also having a big focus on tech and systems automation this year. So at the moment, I'm working with someone who actually used to own, he used to be the franchisor, for BNI many, many years ago. He now runs a systems automation business. So I'm looking to rework all my systems and processes and make things a lot smoother, and just really improve our client process and make it really easy for when I get new staff members to come in. They know exactly what happens, and it just flows.
I love it. Sounds like a great plan moving forward. How do you see your relationship with BNI evolving as your business grows and goes through the changes that you just described?
Look, I think I'll stay BNI longer term. BNI has served me very well. Obviously, I'm now president of my chapter at the moment. And honestly, the biggest thing I've really got out of that is public speaking. It's just reps, and doing it every single week. I'm getting a lot out of that. I've been asked to be an ambassador as well. So probably once my presidentship ends in October, I'll probably look to move on to something like that. And just stick with it.
And so talk me through. So you mentioned you're the president of your chapter. So how does that work for people who aren't familiar with BNI?
Essentially, you have to be asked to be president. And then the first step really is to form your leadership team within the chapter. You've got to pick and choose certain roles for people, which can be difficult because you don't really know everyone and how they work inside a business. You only get to hear what they say every week. So that can take a little bit of trial and error. The main focus really of the president is to facilitate the meetings, and just kind of keep everything moving in the background, keep the PowerPoint slides up to date, run the leadership meetings afterwards, make sure that goes smoothly. But yeah, it's not a massive time-consuming role. Like, it's definitely time-consuming, but it's not like...
You've got a good balance. You've got it. You've figured out to make it work for you by the sound of things.
Yeah, and a big part of the role is delegation as well. So I think the people that struggle as president and the workload, they're not good delegators.
Gotcha. No, great advice. Thank you, Lauren. If you could share another piece of wisdom to whether it be a non-BNI listener or a BNI listener, what would it be?
Another piece of wisdom. I guess something I'm experiencing at the moment is putting money into the business. I think when you start a business, you're all about getting money in. And then I think you kind of hit a point where you've got enough money, but you're also plateauing a bit. So I'm at a point in the business now where I'm hiring probably maybe a little bit faster than what we need. Like, I'm hiring a full-time person where we've probably got 75% workload for that. I'll create work for her though. But I also want to know that I can grow the business and have enough people in the business to support that. Same with my workflow and systems automations. It's not going to be a cheap exercise, but I know that if I want to get to the next level, I'm going to have to put that money in now to get there.
I love it. And so that's all about finding the precious resource of time, and so through delegation, through automation, you're looking for the resource of time, and then you can now go and repurpose that time to grow your business, be more strategic, meet more people in BNI, go interstate, whatever it might be. But ultimately, it's about finding more time. So terrific. I'm pleased for you that you're going through that. How can listeners learn more about you and your business and get in contact with you?
Yeah, so our website is just www.ljba.com.au. We've got a contact form there. Instagram, probably our biggest social media platform we use, so you can check us out. It's Keeping Up with Lauren Jones. We've got TikTok and Facebook, but those are our two biggest platforms that we're on.
Fantastic. Well, listeners, viewers, reach out to Lauren if you want to have a chat about, purchasing properties or learning more about Lauren's journey in BNI. Hey, Lauren, thank you for being here and sharing a little about you, a little about your business, and also a little bit about your experience in BNI. Congratulations on all your success to date, and I look forward to watching your journey flourish into the future.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony. Great to chat.
Thanks, Lauren. Thank you. Bye.